Okay, guys, we have two of my favorite girls, which actually we already had a full podcast. You guys just didn't get to listen to it because it was us just chatting at the bar by ourselves.
For a good 30 minutes.
Brittany and Ashley are here who own Lib and Lee, which is a charm bar. They do pop-ups. They have the cutest business. They've done tons of stuff for my office. I love it. Girls, we're so happy to have you.
So excited
Thanks
to be
for
here.
having us.
Yes. So we'll start off. If you guys want, just introduce yourselves. Tell us how many kids you have, like a little brief, and then we'll dive in.
Good. Britt, you want to go?
Oh, yeah, I'll go first. All right. I'm Brittany Hasso. I have two babies. One is 7 and one is, 4. And I live in here in Salina. I guess we're Prosper ISD. But yeah, I'll let Ashley go.
Yes, I am married. Been married almost, 15 years, so almost 16 years. I have a 7-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son, first year in middle school. So all the new things.
Oh,
yes.
middle school.
But, and I live in Salina, Prosper ISD.
Perfect. So one of the reasons that we wanted to have Brittany and Ashley on is because Stacy and I own our own business.
Yes.
They have since opened their own business. How long have you guys been into, like how long?
10 months.
Almost a year.
So not even a year.
Coming up on a
You
year.
guys have grown so
Next
fast.
month.
Yeah.
Next month is
for
a
less
year.
than a year.
That's
That's
incredible.
wild. Can you give us a little bit of backstory on like what you were doing before? What made you decide to do this?
Yes.
Like, it's nerve-wracking getting into business with friends. So like, is that something that like was on the front part of your mind when you were doing that?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I can kind of start. We both were in corporate. I'll let you kind of share your story, but I was in corporate for 11 years up until May. And then we started Lib and Lee last October. So I was doing full-time corporate out of Dallas and then also Lib and Lee on the side. So a lot of weekends, a lot of back and forth. But I don't know if I always wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to get out of the corporate world, do something for myself that was more fulfilling, but also I could spend more time with my family. And I met Brittany, our daughter's kindergarten year. And we both were workaholics, and we just one day were like, what is it that we can do?
Was that after Brittany decided she liked you?
Yeah, finally. It took her a little bit to like me.
We'll get there.
But
Yeah. Well, I've been in retail ever since I was 16 years old and able to work. I've worked at BCBG, Michael Kors, Nordstrom, Target, GameStop for a short period of time. But I've always wanted a boutique. That was like my end all be all. I've always wanted that. And so me and Ash met at Kinder Roundup with our girls, and we spoke earlier how she has RBF. And I was like, oh my gosh, who is this person? But we quickly, literally in 2 weeks, we were like inseparable. And we were like, we really want to do something. I had like a clothing boutique online only before that. And I remember meeting Ashley, and I'm not going to cry right now, but I remember being like, God put, like, I felt like God put her in my life. Like it was so crazy. And I tell her this even to this day, like, I know there was a reason. And back then, even telling her, like, I was like, I know there's a reason. I know we got really close really fast. And then we wanted to both do something. I see your tears. And we were like, we saw the charms coming up, we saw the trend, and we were like, that would be something. I'm already doing clothing. I want to do something that started just me and her. Your tears. And so we started it, and it literally, we both just full force went into it. And I had left GameStop at this point, and we just, both of us, with my knowledge, with her experience, and we just started it, and it just took off. And
it has really taken
I
off.
didn't realize it was only 10 months.
Yeah.
That's a lot. You guys
have grown so fast. And and it is like, I remember my first experience with you guys, and it was like, wait, I think it was here. It was for the Galentine's event. And I asked if I could work for you guys. Do you remember? I was helping
you're a
everyone.
great designer.
I was helping everyone pick out there. I was like, why is everyone struggling with what charm to pick? It's easy. You just go here. Yep. And then I was like, wait, can I travel with you guys and just do this? I'm going to pack up and leave with them. Leave all my girls here.
I have a question. So when you said, okay, what can we do? Was it kind of, okay, a few days later, let's do this? Or was it like, oh gosh, we talked about it and then we talked about it a month later? Like, how was that process from the initial kind of idea phase to, oh, we're actually going to
we talked about what it could be. We didn't know what that could be. But I remember growing up, and the James Avery charm bracelets were so big. And I remember getting every special charm just always meant something, and always loved it. And then the charm necklaces became very popular. And then we're both like, oh my gosh, there's nothing like that in our area. How can we support the area and do all these things in private parties? What a fun, like, mother-daughter or mom's night out type of events. And so one night we went to dinner with our families, and we drew it up on a napkin, and here we are today, almost a year later.
Some margaritas and queso and a glorious napkin. That was our logo.
Absolutely. But I would say since when we first met in kinder, we didn't start it right away. We always knew what we wanted, but we never knew exactly what that was.
What is Lib and Lee? Where do the names come from?
It's our middle name. So I am Lee.
And I'm Elizabeth, and Lib for sure is my great grandmother's name.
Okay.
And then we have like the rainbow up top, and I remember we were picking a logo, and we knew we wanted Lib and Lee, but we wanted something that tied in, like that actually had meaning. And I'll let Ashley like explain the meaning of like the rainbow.
Yeah, it's gonna make me cry. My dad passed about 4 years ago, and right when he passed, a rainbow, one of my good friends, a rainbow had popped up, and she sent me a picture of it. And ever since then, like I was like, my dad would be so proud. You know, he was a corporate man. I was corporate forever. I loved corporate. I loved working in corporate, but I knew for my lifestyle, and I wanted to be home with my kids also. I wanted the best of both worlds. Didn't know how to get that, but like Dad would be so proud. So
that's that's so sweet. I love when I know the backstory. Like it just changes. It changes everything when you know the backstory.
Yes. I don't think we've ever told anyone about like why we have the rainbow above Lib and Lee.
I love that.
And it doesn't look like a true, it's like a starburst rainbow. So it has a flare, a fun flare about it.
Well, and I like what you said about you guys wanted like a mother-daughter thing, a girls thing, private parties. That's one of the things Stacy and I talk so much about on this podcast with other women is I think we're striving to find ways to connect as we get older and our lives are getting busier. And when you're working corporate, to be able to find a job where you can, I know in mine, I connect with women every day because they sit in my chair. Same as a hairdresser or like whatever. She does events. So she's with brides and she's with all these women. You still have that space to connect where if you're driving to Dallas and spending an hour in the car driving there and driving home and you're in an office and then you're like, when is there time to ever be with your friends? Because I think women need that. Like it fills our soul in a different way than
community
probably for guys.
100%.
Community is so important. And you're in a space where it's just exploding.
Yeah.
I mean, the population in Prosper and Salina, and it's exploding. How many parties a week do you guys like? Do y'all do y'all have like a cap? Are you hiring? Because, I said I'd go right.
Actually, we need to hire. We're, I would say like last week, we probably had 4 events.
The week before it was like 6.
Okay. So it varies kind of seasons. And I think just kind of what's going on that week and what we can book out based on our family dynamics and what's going on in our families and where we need to be versus if we can take the time to do and host another party. We're actually going out of town this weekend for a really big fun event also.
Can you say where you're going? I mean, this will be later. So
we're actually going down to New Orleans and we're going to be doing an event with the Saints with all the wives.
Oh my God.
They asked us to come out there.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
We're so excited.
That's
incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. So what time do we leave?
Saturday morning.
You know what's crazy about it is my birthday is tomorrow and her husband's birthday is Saturday, and so we just made it kind of like we are.
They're gonna drive, so they're gonna take all of our stuff, and we're gonna fly first class.
So do your husbands get it? Like, are they friend? You know what I mean? Have they connected through?
They
you
have
guys
connected through us.
Forced friendship, or
yeah.
I mean, voluntold, right?
Right.
No, both of them are very strong-willed, so I don't think even if we forced that would ever happen. But no, it's crazy. They met and then they clicked also, and then they ended up working. Steven brought my husband along to the company he works for. So we're literally
they work together.
They work together
in the construction company and you guys work together.
Yes.
That's so sweet. So my best friend and I are married to best friends. And we had and we're still to this day, I mean, it's still best friends, still see each other all the time. There is something very sweet and special about finding those couple friends, because that's hard to find whenever the husband and the wife get along and raising your kids together. That is just like, I don't care if I don't have a single other friend in the world. The fact that I was blessed enough to have that one person and our families, like our kids think that they're related. Like that's
their second family.
Yes. And so it's just really, really special. And that's hard to find. I mean, it's really hard to find. So that's so fun for you guys. I love it.
Big question I would love to know too is, talking about shifting in this season, how's it been? Like shifting from corporate to a business owner, the good, the bad, whatever you want to share. How has that shift been?
I would say, I stopped corporate in May. I've been doing Lib and Lee and momming full time. It's very fulfilling. I would say it's definitely a change for my personality. I am a go-getter. I always want to be busy. I always want the agenda. She doesn't love the agendas, but we work well together.
I literally feel like they're you and I.
We are.
It's literally the same thing.
Yeah. We were talking earlier, like I'm the yes girl, she's the no girl. Because we have to have that equal balance, right? We can't both be yes girls. But I would say the shift, it's been hard. as a mom with a 7 and 11-year-old, like being in corporate world for so long, I was never able to attend all the things and do all these group things during the day or mom's day out. Like I had always wanted that. I would never had that. So I was never fulfilled in that sense. But now being home with the kids, dropping off, picking up, that little time means so much. And it's such that quality time.
Absolutely.
So I think the shift for me, it's been healthy. I think it's just trying to find what that new balance looks like with the family and Lib and Lee.
Yeah, mine wasn't that nice. I love my children. I love them so much. But I've always worked, and I traveled when Amelia was 6 weeks old. I went back to work and traveled Monday through Friday. So my husband really took and has always taken like kind of the brunt of everything else of taking care. And he's absolutely amazing. I literally could not do it without him. But he, coming from, working on the weekends, 10-hour, 12-hour shifts at Target to traveling and then immediately stepping out of that. And I love that. But it was a transition to go from, kind of being able to check out and clock out of your momhood for 10 hours and then come back and just, it's very scheduled. Like, and I don't like schedule, but I do in the sense of like dinner, bedtime, and then I'd go back to work. And I am such a control freak that like, I liked the need and the want from, working and meeting deadlines and all that stuff. So for me to do that and then go to my own where like, there wasn't anyone, being like, oh, we've got to do this or we've got to do that, and having to make that. It's been a hard adjustment, but I still feel like I'm learning, but I love the time now. It's been a little over a year and a half. Like I love the time with my children. I love being able to slow down. And for me in the mornings, like just taking her, I've noticed a huge difference in my kids and like their behaviors and they're, not stressing out as much and not, I'm still learning patience, but just slowing down for me has been the biggest thing. Yeah. And I now finally feel like I'm starting to get, I don't totally have it, but I feel like I'm starting to get it and it's good. I love it.
I feel like I can relate to that as far as, because my appointments, like even owning the business, I work in the business that I own. So everything's scheduled. Like I had appointments, and this year we're open 4 years. The brick and mortar's open 4 years, which is wild. But this year has been the first year that it's been such a God thing, but I haven't really needed to be there. And I had cut my days back, and I would catch myself at home kind of like looking around and like, what do people do when they're at home? And like feeling almost like, not that I was doing something wrong, but I was just it was just such an odd feeling to me to not have something scheduled out and not be busy from the minute we got up. This is what's happening all day. These are when these people are coming. These are when your meetings are. To be in my house and be like, so do I do laundry? Like, do I take the kids' lunch to school? Like, what do normal moms do? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to do
you're
that.
Still not a normal mom because you still have a whole business. So you're still working.
And I think I'm still trying to figure out what that is because I do know, like, it's very different when I'm at the office versus when I'm not there for a couple days. The girls are amazing and they've got it on autopilot, but I just feel like, your presence needs to be there. But my presence needs to be at home too. So it's just the balance is really different because I have worked too. I mean, I remember taking my babies to the office to do a Botox touch-up on someone that was desperate for one. And they're like 2 weeks old. And I'm like taking them in the car seat. And I'm like, okay, I might just be there for an hour. But I never said no to work. I never said no to work. It was something that was always super important to me. So I can relate. It's been a shift. But I'm also trying to sit in it. I'm old enough now to know like, Nicole told me yesterday, there's wisdom in the waiting. And I was like, that is such a great, like, I'm just trying to remind myself of that phrase because I think just sitting still sometimes I kind of want to fill my time with like, well, what's this podcast? Stacy we kind of started talking about this and I'm like, I just don't want it to be something that becomes stressful. I want it to be something that like we enjoy doing and it's outlet. Like an outlet, but not a new business because I have downtime. Because I fill the space sometimes with a bunch of stuff.
But even as you guys are saying you're slowing down, I feel like you're going somewhere every weekend. So I do feel like you should give yourself grace to be like, okay, maybe I have a 30 minutes on a Tuesday, but then you also are working through the weekends and have so many events.
It doesn't feel like work though.
Do you manage social media or do you have someone help with social media? Because your social media is...
It's grown so fast.
Thanks to Britt.
Your social media presence is
social media girl.
Yes.
Yeah, we do everything in house and it's kind of adapted. Like I only know so much from retail and like even at GameStop, I got a little bit more into it. But like it's been just like learning and what works and what doesn't work. Especially like, with me and Ashley, like people love us naturally together. And so we are still leaning into that heavily more and more. But like that's what's helped grow a business. Like they love us together and they love just the naturalness and when we're just silly and funny and and we probably think we're funnier than everyone else.
For sure. But I think we're hilarious.
Whenever I see you, I'm like, how do you come up with the ideas? I think it's the ideas that you'll do stuff like, oh my gosh, that is like, so props to you if you're actually coming up with the ideas, executing it.
It's not always that first take.
Oh, you know. Her husband actually, like, is we used to take like more and more until it was like what we thought was perfect. And then her husband one time watched us and he was like, stop. Like, y'all's first take was perfect because you messed up. Because it wasn't
They want
perfect.
the natural, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, like on social media, we're in it so much, but you see everything just looks so perfect. And we don't always have to show up perfect. We're all perfectly imperfect, and that's the way we were made to be. And it's okay, you know, to have those off days and not be fully put together.
Yeah.
But, you know, you feel the pressure.
And I try all the time. I think with my words, I'm really good at being like not filtered. But then when it comes to like what I look like, I really struggle with like being my most vulnerable self in what I look like.
Yeah.
Speaking, not so much. I'll just say whatever. But like it is really difficult. And being in the industry, I think of fashion or aesthetic or whatever, and being in your 40s, aging and all those things, there's so much pressure.
Yeah, there is
for sure.
Do you try to take family with you when you travel sometimes?
Not necessarily.
Or does that add a whole other layer?
That's a whole other layer. We did an event, a wonderful event up in, where were we this past weekend at the concert? Denison. And it was an amazing music festival. And it was such a great cause. And our husbands came up with our kids. We missed a soccer game. Those are the hard days when we miss those moments, because I live for the sports weekends. Like, I love those. I looked forward to them. But so we missed the game. We were out there, and our husbands brought the kids and surprised us, and they sat there for the second half of it. So, and the girls watching us work, they just want to be the biggest helpers. And it's so sweet to see them like light up, you know, when they're around us working, because they don't get to see that often.
Letting your kids in on seeing what you do. It's also
what it takes.
Yes.
What is your favorite event that you've done so far? Do you have like a favorite?
Might be this next weekend.
The most, I know, I was going to say it might be this coming weekend, but anything that you were like, oh my God, I can't believe they asked us to do this.
Well, being on the podcast with you guys, I know it's an outlet, but we were so excited.
We were.
But
really?
This weekend,
that makes us so happy.
So we love you guys, and so we were so happy to be in the presence with y'all. Let's see, the favorite event. I did love y'all's Galentine's too, just because it was like, I don't know, it was like very fulfilling. The women were so excited and happy, and it was just it felt good.
It did feel really good. That was where really I was like, I told Becca that day, I was like, so Lib and Lee are going to be at every event that we have, because one, I really thoroughly enjoyed getting to express my creative side.
And what some may not know, because you guys will do home events, right?
Yes.
So you'll do private parties at homes.
Yes.
Beautiful homes happen to be, and then you'll do them at businesses and collaborations, right? So you you'll dip into both.
Yeah,
right?
we really do all kinds of different events. We do a lot of like Roger cheer events. We do a lot of, local sports, and
I'm sure just being like at Walnut Grove, like high school stuff.
Yes.
That's the best. I think, I don't know if I have like my favorite event, but the biggest, like my favorite part is seeing the moms wear Lib and Lee to their kids, supporting their children at games, or support, whatever it is, like choosing us and to wear our jewelry, and it's customized. So like they, we know the story of why they chose each charm to put on their necklace, and then to go and do what they love and watch their sons play football or, cheer, whatever it is. That's my favorite part, is knowing the backstory and then watching it on social or in person, and then just seeing people like, oh my gosh, y'all are Lib and Lee girls. Like, I remember one day we looked
Hobby Lobby,
a little busted in Hobby Lobby, but we had our Lib and Lee sweatshirts on, and this lady came. I mean, she like yelled across the lanes and was like, "Oh my gosh, y'all are the Lib and Lee girls!" And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, just that's a kind of like pinch me moment of like, "Oh my goodness!" And that was like last spring, and so it's just that's what I love, is like,
I get my necklaces are the only. I have a favorite now, but I have a bunch of necklaces, but because I make one every time I'll have to.
You make some.
Like,
you make good one.
Erin make mine.
Yes.
Well, I'm like, I can't help myself. I'm like, I have to make another one. Like, it's like a problem. But I went to that retreat, that Lisa Turkhurst retreat, and I wore my necklace, and I had so many women. And I don't think I told you this. One of the women that I met there, she, all of these women had stories that were just like heart-wrenching, and, it was a forgiveness retreat, and it was just really impactful. And she was just so precious, but you could tell she had never left her little town in Mississippi. And she was going through so many things. And she was like obsessed with my necklace, like obsessed. And she was like, I mean, do they have a website? I'm like, they do. And I'm trying to show her like how to get on the website. And I just thought, I have to make this lady a necklace. And so I messaged them. And that's who you guys made one for. And she sent me a picture a couple weeks ago of her with a friend. And she was like, I just want you to know I wear my necklace all the time. I mean, but she had she loved all my charms, but then she had a couple that she wanted to change out that were meaningful to her in a different way. And so it's just, you're right. You don't think about the story behind them, but like that made me so happy to be able to do that for her. Yep. It got y'all's name out there. It just spreads the word. And then it's personalized to her. And it's just really, really so sweet.
Well, I was going to say how special to be able to turn something like jewelry, right?
Yeah.
That we all wear into there is a story behind it. And for those who haven't experienced a charm bar yet, yes, you get to actually choose charms. I mean, you could just choose. I
kind of just choose.
Well, I was okay. So I get overwhelmed. I'm really good at life decisions. Like if you told me like this, right? Like let's going to start a podcast. I am so good at that. If you ask me what charm I want on my necklace,
I'm like, I'll do it.
What coffee I want, I struggle with the small decisions. The big life ones I'm great at.
I'm good with the small ones. The big ones I'm not.
So I will say like you can choose them, but you can also create moments that mean something to you.
Well, Sarah, our front desk girl that was getting married, she made a wedding one.
It was
and then her mom, I think, made it. Yes, she made a wedding one. And it was really sweet.
It was so pretty. Bridal parties.
I bet bridal's big. Yeah.
I don't know why a light bulb just went off, but oh my goodness. Hello.
You're in that business.
What are we doing, Stacy?
For a second, I was like, so bridal.
Bridal. People are getting married.
Yeah.
I own an event planning
company. Be so fun.
Yes.
Hashtag not so angry.
Sidebar.
That's funny.
You mentioned a minute ago with the kids. I always love it too. Do you find that they're like, yeah, my mom, my mom's with Lib and Lee? Is it like it's cool to hear them say that
all the time? It is so sweet. I was going to say Cooper, my son, he's in middle school.
That's how boys explain it.
Yeah. I have a Cooper.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's my oldest.
Such a good name.
My 15-year-old.
That's my oldest. He is. Oh, precious.
Love him.
He's oldest boys.
The oldest boys.
But he, in middle school, and a sweet lady that I know through church actually works up at the school. And she one day saw Cooper. He's part of the Hope Squad at the middle school. And she came up to him and she was like, oh my gosh, Cooper, I know your mom, Lib and Lee. Like I wear her necklace all the time. And she said Cooper's face just like lit up. And so just like hearing that when our kids hear it without me even around, it makes them so proud. And I think more than anything, that just fulfills me too.
Well, our girls have started bragging at gymnastics. So Andy Rose got in the car the other day and she's like, so you and Miss Stacy work together, right? Like y'all have a business together. And I was like, well, I mean, let's loosely we're working on some things. She's like, well, Marley and I told everybody that y'all own a business together and that y'all are going to be famous. And I was like, well, I don't think any of that's true, but I'm so glad that you. And then she tells me all the time, she's like, so what age do I have to be to work the front desk? And I'm like, oh my goodness. But they're so proud. And so that gives me that motivation to keep pushing through those hard spots because they are watching everything we do. They're also watching when we work too much and can't balance. So it's the good and the bad.
When they're entering ways, we're talking about this next season, I've noticed probably with the past 2 years from like 10 and up, they're picking up on the cues. They're picking up on our stressors. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you feel like you're under a microscope because when they're little, not that you're hiding it from them, but they're not picking up on those things as much, right? Yeah. You can just kind of give them their toys to play with and have your meltdown and they're not noticing it.
They're not aware.
And now, I mean, just the other night, and every kid's so different, but I mean, I just was feeling very anxious and tears were flowing and I was just having one of those nights and my son came in and was encouraging me on things that he's like, well, when I go to school and I have these, but it was just like, they're just watching everything, which is intimidating. So intimidating, but also, it just makes me want to wake up and be a better person. Every
but him
day.
encouraging you is a direct reflection of you.
I had this moment that I was like, okay, clearly something stuck. Like I was doing the right thing. So that was my next question is, why two actually, I mean, I could keep going, but is how you push through those hard moments of this transition, right? And what's keeping you going, as well as, I know you guys are pretty vocal about this and open on social media, but the friendship dynamic, has it changed since getting into business together, or is it still the same? You just add a business on top of it. I don't know.
I'm going to cry, so you go ahead.
Okay. God, I love you guys. Y'all are so precious.
I would say ever since she started liking me and she knew she knew my heart
you weren't rude.
We always clicked. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, we're just good for each other. Our families are both amazing. But I think it has not changed. If anything, it's gotten stronger. We share, our faith together. We build each other up. I will say with the business, there are days where maybe we have to have a hard conversation about something, whether it's, hey, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what you're going to do, like task wise and things like that. But I think too, that's just trying to normalize what that looks like now that we're both not in corporate and we're both full-time Lib and Lee and moms. So I would say, honestly, it's probably gotten better. Like we've had conversations sooner than probably any other friendship would have based on the business, and business can make it.
I was going to say that's probably not common, right? Like, I don't know if that's the popular answer or the common answer to be like, our friendship got stronger through business. I think that's a testament.
We're both very vulnerable with each other and direct. That's like neither one of us really like beat around the bush. If we have something that's on our mind, like we speak it and we have a discussion, then we move past it. I think that's something that I loved about her from the very beginning is like, we've not been that fluffy friendship. Like it hasn't ever been just like surface level. Like we dove deep right from the beginning. And so those conversations, yes, no one wants to have them, but they're we know when we have them, we discuss it, we come to a, conclusion, and then we leave that knowing that that's it. There's not going to be a, how does Ashley feel? Or how does Brittany feel? Or, I wonder if I shouldn't have said this. Like we're just vulnerable and we just say it and then we figure it out and we move forward because we've both been in business. We've both been very high up in corporate director level, and so we both know how to have that and we leave it at that. And then we focus on friendship. And that's really what I feel like is our why is like.
And I feel sometimes, I think we're both very direct people, but some friendships can't handle that directness. But thankfully that we both
I'm sure you guys have been in relationships with people who couldn't handle your directness. I mean, I'm a very direct person. And I definitely I can think of friendships that have really struggled because I'm very honest. Like I'm very honest and I appreciate the vulnerability. Like I love that you guys are that. I think it's harder to find that than not. So it's probably why you get super emotional too, is because it is very rare to find that connection with somebody. And some people go their whole lives and don't ever have that kind of relationship with somebody. But what you're teaching your daughters that are friends, like how a real relationship works. And I think it's marriage, it's friendship, it's sisters or brothers or, whatever the cousins, whatever the relationship is. If you can't say what you're thinking and you can't express your feelings and you can't be vulnerable or have an honest conversation, is it a relationship?
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Like
I don't want, I'm almost 40. I don't want those surface level friendships anymore. I just don't have the time. My focus is my family, my relationship with God, and our business. And that's really it. And I want my small knit group that I can be vulnerable with, that I can share all of the life things with and not be judged.
We talked about that in our first episode. We kind of broke down what this podcast was going to be about. And it was like, embracing the shift. What shift are we talking about? Well, physical, emotional, relational, spiritual. And in the relational part, when you get to this middle age, quote unquote, which sounds awful when we say that. She's like quotations because we're really 27. That your capacity to handle the BS is not there anymore. And the value we place on like real relationships is just different than it was when we were 29 or 30 or 32. It's just like, I don't have much to give because I'm doing so much. So whatever I'm giving, somebody needs to be, I need to save that for people that are going to give me back in return.
The same thing.
And then that's all I have time for.
Talking about this season, do you think if you had have started Lib and Lee when you were younger, that it would be what it is today? Or do you feel like, we talked about that big shift of leaving corporate. Do you feel like leaving and having that corporate experience truly set you guys up for this?
100%. I think, everything happens for a reason, and the way the timing of everything was so perfect. I think growing up, being in corporate ever since I got out of college taught me so much about work and, how I want to be. So I don't think if we started any earlier, it would be where we are today and as fast as it's been growing.
I honestly think, like I said earlier, like God put her in my life. Like that was meant to be. Like the timing is everything. Like I met her, we had time to grow that friendship, and then our business just started. So I think, this is like the perfect time for everything with kids aged and everything. I think in what we're going through, talking about shifts, like we're both going through the same thing with, you know, friendships and work and all the things. And it was just, we needed each other, not just for the business, but just for in life. And that came first before our business formed. And so I think we both needed, I'm going to not speak for you, but I at least needed that to be able to start the business and to have that firm foundation, and to have both of us be able to do that. You need to have the, you know, that foundation first.
Yeah, I totally. I don't know how people survive without like one or two really good people and like women in their life to like, I don't, whether you have 1,000 friends and none of them really mean much to you or like it's not a close, I would not, my girlfriends are my lifeline. It's how I have survived. It's how I will continue to survive. I think women and their relationships with one another is such a unique, special, and if we could teach our daughters that so that I just think a lot of people are missing the mark on female relationships and how important those are. You know?
And I think too, you know, a lot of it has to do with like social media and what it looks like on the outside. But I'm the same. Like I have my handful of closest friends that I'm always vulnerable, share my life with. And that is fulfilling to me.
And it's you stop needing to like, what's the word? Like you stop needing, like I feel like when I say I'm a no person and I used to be a yes person, when I got to that space of being like, I'm good. Like, nope, that doesn't work for me. The first time I did it was like shocking to my system. And then 5 minutes later, it was like, ooh, that was nice.
I think some of it's contentment. I struggle with contentment. It's hard for me to say that because I'm like, I'm a content person. I'm actually not. And that's what's interesting is I preach it all the time. And I'm always like, be content, be content. But I think that's why I do so much is because I want, not that I like want to be greedy and want more, but I genuinely want to do all the things all the time. And so that contentment is something that I think you do kind of have to get to a point of that. I don't think it just magically happens overnight where you're content. I don't think we ever will be.
The entrepreneur brain is probably never fully content because our brains just work a certain way that people who aren't entrepreneurs don't understand.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, so I had a conversation with someone the other day and we were talking about, you know, when you start a business or you become a business owner and an entrepreneur or what, and they said, you know, what's advice? They said, expect the unexpected. So has there been something through this process that has kind of been a surprise? You're like, oh, all right. Didn't expect that. Or did you have everything mapped out and it went just...
Oh, absolutely not. No. I think you just learn through everything. Like we take everything and we learn that really quickly. Like when stuff doesn't go our way or when we made, you know, a bad business decision or a mistake, we used to in the beginning be like, oh, like that's a bummer. And then quickly, I think it's more Ashley than me being like, well, what do we learn from
this? This is good.
Like,
right?
Like it is good because we learned something from it. We're not going to do it again. Brush it off, move forward. And we have taken that from the very beginning into now. And it really has shaped, like, there's no bad days. Like, of course we get bummed out sometimes, but like, it is very quickly within 5 minutes being like, okay, we're not going to do that next time. We're going to move forward.
And I think you have to always be thinking with that mindset of there's not a problem. It's just something that one more thing you have to figure out, right? How do we figure this out? But you work with a lot of females. And so I can imagine there being lots of opinions all the time. Is there, you know, have you gotten to a point where like we have to tune certain things out? Or, you know, do you find that, how do you navigate that, right? Just with, there's always going to be opinions out there or opinions on your style or social media or what you guys have done.
I think really it's learning how to tune those out. In a healthy way. Like when we have that sideways energy, as we like to call it, it's not healthy. It, you know, it brings us down a different path. And we just have to remember, like, just let go of that. That's someone's opinion and their right to their own opinion. But it doesn't need to affect how we do our business. There's going to be supporters. And then you're going to have people that are not supporters, but not everybody is meant to be your supporter. And that's okay.
That's a really important space to come to. It took me, I mean, I was open for 2 years probably before I recognized that. And those first 2 years looking back were rough because I was trying to please everybody and people that worked for me. I was trying to make sure they were good. And I was spiraling because you can't, like, I can't make everybody happy and I can't make everybody like me and I can't,
And I think that's what we're getting into now. I would say we're probably just now hitting that phase.
But it may not be for everyone, and that's okay.
That's right. But, you know, and I'm a people pleaser. So to see somebody that I can't please or make happy or be the right friend to or be enough for, it's hard to let those things go.
Absolutely.
That's why there's two of us, though, because I'm not that way. And I kindly remind her every time, like, let them. Like, that let them theory is so strong. Like, that is sideways energy anytime. And we've seen it over the past, you know, couple months of that sideways energy coming in. It's a distraction. And we quickly, either one of us recognize it. We're like, nope, let's jump back on track. And so I think that's where both of us, like, we both go through things. And luckily, most of the time, it's not at the same time where we can just be like, hey, we've got this. Like, pep up, let's go.
Yeah.
And
did you feel the same way?
I love that about you guys. And I think being significantly older than all of you. And I don't know if it has to do with age or not, or maybe I'm just late to learning things, but I used to be this one and now I'm this, like, I used to people pleasing was my, like that is, I'm a 2 on the Enneagram. I want peace. I want to help. I want all the things, but my inner 8 started coming out in a negative way when I would be really stressed. I love my 8 side, but I don't want it to come out in a stressful way. So it was like I had to sit back and kind of go, what is working and what is not working? I love helping people. There is a difference I learned between helping them be happy, helping them find peace, all the things, and abandoning myself in the process. And so once I learned how to do that and carrying the weight, and once I learned how to do that and start being a little bit more like, because now I am, wouldn't you say I'm more of like a...
I get so jealous. How close.
I am totally Brittany now.
I will call Erin.
I love it. Like my inner Brittany is out.
Those
and I'm
8s
like,
go strong.
Yeah, I love an 8.
But it is so true. Like,
my
I feel like that's what I do is I carry that weight.
Yes.
Because I feel like I should kind of let that go. Like it's my job to make that happy and make it everything okay, but it's not. It's not for me to own.
Not. And once you like recognize like it's not your, like, just like my problem's not your problem, your problem's not my problem. Like why it took me forever to understand that. I'm like, thanks God.
Because
I could have like learned that at 35.
Are going through that.
Yes. I just wish I wasn't 100 figuring it out. I wish I was like
ladies and gentlemen,
it's more of a reflection
this age,
of them versus what like it is for you. So like when someone's saying or, you know, have an opinion, it shows a lot more of what they're going through. And I have, you know, I can pray for them. I absolutely love them. I wish them nothing but the best, but I don't need that reflection on myself.
People have asked me before, like, do you get offended if like clients don't come back to Fine Line? And
do you say I've been in their face perfect?
I think you're welcome. I've done it for so long and I've been in the business for so long that I think I learned how to not let that affect me a long time ago. But then when it became my baby and it was my business, there were moments where I was like, oh, why didn't they come back? Oh, and then I hit a wall like 2 years ago where I was like, whatever. I can sit here and I can lose sleep over it, or I can just be like, God will provide another client for every client that leaves, and kind of surrendering that worry and that anxiety of like, what does somebody think about me? What did I do wrong? Not knowing if you messed up, not knowing if they just didn't like your business, and going, that's okay. It's not for everybody. And accepting that in my life in general, that I'm not for everybody. My business is not for everybody, has like lifted a weight off of my back to allow me to be a better mom and a better friend to the people who are the closest to me. So I think that's a really important spot to get to. And I think talking about it helps women get there a little faster, which is the whole point of having these conversations, that we all kind of feel that way. Can we do rapid fire?
We can do rapid fire. I also was going to ask too, no, is there anything new coming down the line of
that's
jewelry line?
Or like, where do you guys see, where's the growth going?
I mean, men, are we talking, you know, a hunter's edition?
Right? Oh, that'd be fun. I would love that. Look at that. I feel it's funny you guys asked that. Like
Labubu charms.
Oh my God. Don't even get us started on Labubus.
Or Lafufu.
I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't. I'll never understand.
You know you have a child that is between 7 and 12.
If these 7-year-olds come home, that's not fair. We don't have a Labubu. I'm like,
yeah.
I sure did get on DHgate in order to.
We bought one in Georgia at some convenience store. My daughter thinks it's real. I'm like, it was at a gas station.
My daughter came home with what her friend let her bring one home last night. And my other children were like, get that out of the house. I don't want Sorry.
Off on Labubu.
No, we've been so busy. And I know people say that in business like, oh, it's been so busy. But we literally
y'all are
have been like nonstop. And we were just, I think in the next couple of weeks, and I think we've been saying this since we started, like in the next couple of weeks when we slow down,
no, you won't.
Like we know we want this to just continue growing and what that looks like in the future. I mean, I think both of us, have wants that we both want. Like I want a storefront. Like that's always been my thing. And I think we haven't really we know we want things and we have definitely things working, but nothing like, I think it just keeps coming. And like, I truly think it's God sent. Like we sent messages this morning. It was like talking about how excited we were for the podcast. And like, she said God sent, like it truly is. And so I don't know if there's one specific answer to that question.
We're always working for what's
a hard line to like think about. People would ask me with Fine Line, what's your business plan for 5 years? And I could not answer that. I still probably can't answer that question. Yeah. I'm have learned to very much just live in like the now. So it's hard for me to project like, and I know you need to as a business owner kind of have like a reference of some kind, but I'm like, to still be open. Like I don't really know. I'm like, I'm just so glad that I got to this point that I'm trying to just enjoy where I'm at. But as a business owner, you do always think, well, do I need to be thinking about the next? And I have learned to kind of step back the last year or two and just enjoy that we had a successful year. And like, I feel like God will open doors and I'll see that when those open, if there's something else that we need to be doing. So maybe that's kind of where you got like enjoying where you're at right now.
I think so for sure. My husband's,
they're babies.
My husband's number one question is always like, you don't have a business until you have your goals. Totally believe in that. Corporate, I had so many goals and so many metrics to meet and all the things. It's kind of a breath, breath of fresh air. Not always having to meet all those things. So right now, I feel like we definitely are living in it. We have so many goals and dreams that we want. But now it's just a matter of planning that and putting that on paper, to see what that really looks like. But I think for me, I'm really just living in it. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, it still seems so surreal.
Well, it's so new. It's wild. Was there an event that you guys did or something? Like, was there a moment when your Instagram took off? Because I feel like you went from like zoop, like 0 to 10,000.
It's when we started
it's when
posting
you put the
together.
Hoodies on, I think.
It was the hoodies. It was
our husbands when they did the hoodies.
I don't know. I just vividly remember it being 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, there's Lib and Lee in the hoodies.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
I think it's true. I think it's when our true selves came out. I think more than just a jewelry post, it's we are people. We are moms. We are struggling with all the same things that everybody struggles with as a business owner and trying to keep up and all the things. So
yeah, it's definitely us.
I don't think there was one turning point, but I think it's just seeing us.
Yeah. Okay. Those videos. I mean,
do you record something for social media every day?
Yes.
So you're with each other every day.
We are with each other. Literally, our kids are in sports together. Church Sundays. We're every day.
And they dress alike. They are dressed in white t-shirts and jeans. They dress alike like twins. I love it.
Yeah. We do plan.
It. Yeah. Y'all are goals for friendship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. My son came home yesterday from school and the tripod was in the living room because we had filmed something right before we had an event. And he comes home and he goes, "Mom, was Brittany here today?" And I'm like, "How'd you know?" He's like, "The tripod."
I'm going to have to get Nicole to step up her game. I'm like, our friendship's going to take a little detour. I'm like, we got to start matching every day.
Yeah. It's just like, it's been like, I think people in the beginning, like kind of like not made fun, but they were like, "Oh my God, y'all, there they are together."
There they are.
And it's kind of just been our
it's
thing.
Like your look.
Like you just kept doing it.
Yeah.
Joke's on you.
We're like, we're here again.
Yeah. But those sweats, when we put the sweats on and we had to live in these sweats.
I don't know why that's coming to mind.
Because that's around the time that we started posting the videos. And I think that just kind of like the two of them clicked. And my husband always asks like, why do they choose you guys over, whoever else? And it's because of us. Like,
are there any charm bar, any other, like, are y'all starting to get some,
there's so many wonderful ones around in the community.
There is.
Yeah. And there's just so much to go around.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
There are so many people and everything's growing. Like, there is room for everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do have one last question. So how on board are your husbands when you get them on social media?
Dre, not so much. Steven, like, I feel like Steven's like our
guy.
Yeah, he's our idea guy. He's like wishes
Steven's
that he's the middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He thinks he's really funny. He's really
he
is funny.
He is
funny. And he's always like, "Why don't y'all come up with your own original videos?" I'm like, "Because these are really funny.
Because these are trending."
Yeah.
Steven.
I mean, basically. But he'll be like, "Hey, why don't you guys do this? Or why don't you guys do that?" And like,
do you take him up on it?
We do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like whenever they came out and surprised us with like their chains and their sweats, like, and they had the shirts made. I make fun of him all the time because Brittany's shirt that Dre was wearing, she has like all of these like glamour shot photos on his shirt, and my husband comes out and it's like the granny photos. And like I'm in my cardigans and nothing is like cute. I'm like, why did you pick these pictures? And he's like, well, you didn't pick them, so I did.
Oh my gosh.
I end up having to hide that shirt because I'm like, you are not wearing that
their
in
own
public.
Instagram pretty soon.
Yeah. They're very into it. But Steven gives us a lot of our ideas. Like he's very much like, y'all should do this or y'all should do that.
He's very creative.
Yeah.
And Dre's along for the ride.
He's along for it. He's 100% will do anything. Like that video that they did with the tequila with the wine glass after ours, like he'll do anything, but he's not the one that's like, I can't wait to jump on camera.
And I will say, I'm sure there's so much that happens behind the camera. I mean, you're juggling your kids and everything else, but I do love that when you post, it's fun, it's lighthearted, it's refreshing, and I think that it's enjoyable. And I think when you stop having fun, it's not worth it, right? So so being able to, again, like we all have hard things we're going through, but you guys, every time I come across what you're posting on social media, it's just it's lighthearted, it's fun. You know what I mean? I think it's that breath that you're like, okay,
like
we're all going through ish, but
like
we're still having fun with this,
Well, and I
appreciate that.
The takeaway is the vulnerability and the realness between you guys, and that's why it works. I think people can smell that a mile away. If someone's genuine, if they're real, if their relationship is real, people can sniff that out, and people are drawn to that because that's what we are all craving. Is that realness, that genuineness. And I think that's, people ask me too, because there's so many med spas around, and I think in your business too, it's so relational.
Highly relational.
Like, why does yours work and the one down the street closes? And I think there's a lot of different reasons, but I think at the end of the day, we try and really connect with people. And I think that if you're doing that, it's okay if people leave and that's not their jam or whatever, but you're gonna keep a really good group.
When I say, we don't just say we care, we actually care. I care. Have a conversation, right? And
I used to care too much.
I
learned to not care as much.
So, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for having us. Do you want to do rapid fire? Yeah. Do you have them from yesterday? Do you have them Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah, ask them. Okay. We don't have to answer them because we know the questions.
I'm nervous.
They weren't bad.
No, they're easy.
I didn't know them the other day.
I
and I
thought
had
they
to
were
answer
easy,
them.
but sometimes they're, if you're, yes. Okay. So a couple rapid fire questions, which are always fun to end on. All right. We'll go Ash and then Britt. Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
See, that's very easy. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Okay. Favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Take a bath and get in bed.
TikTok.
You're not alone. The best part is I was like, well, I'm 100. I drink Chardonnay. So I'm like, the Chardonnay and the scrolling and a bath with Epsom salt probably because
so sore.
That's amazing.
From standing.
I worked today.
Yeah.
I'm dying with the Chardonnay.
I came up with a new hashtag.
I feel like you should make your own Chardonnay blend.
Buffet.
Yeah, I said that after a wedding one time. Everybody was like, "How did you have so much fun? You look a little." And I was like, "They might as well have had a Chardonnay buffet." And I was like, "Oh, hashtag Chardonnay buffet! I gotta get a sweatshirt." So
that's amazing.
I can't drink.
But then my grandma was even like, I mean, drink something like trendier, like Sauvignon Blanc or something. Why are you drinking Chardonnay? You're 44.
I can't drink Chardonnay without
Sauvy.
I was going to say, Sauv with jalapenos.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, what is this?
We tried it over the summer.
Mind. Okay.
Yes, a jalapeno slice. You freeze them and put them in the wine.
Stop it. We need to do another episode on
a spicy chard. I'm sure you can.
Sure.
You put a frozen. So I love white wine.
Oh my gosh, me too.
So
freeze jalapeno sliced, and then you put however to your spice taste.
Oh my god,
I love a spicy margarita.
Me too.
You will love the spicy wine. It just adds a little bit of a kick. I go to restaurants and I order it, and they're like, "We need to have this on the regular." Like that's a great idea. It was trending.
I love everything we talked about today, but this may be. The
one takeaway is the jalapenos.
Yes. Okay. So then, did we? Yes, we're good on that. One word to word to describe this season of life. One.
Stacey's really specific. One.
Well, because it's like we always want to explain it.
I know.
Britt, do you have one yet?
Fulfilling.
Oh,
this is hard.
I know.
I would say tough. And I'm only saying that because I'm almost 40. I feel like there's just so many different things, not being in corporate anymore, doing so many things, like finding who your tribe is. Yeah,
changes.
It's hard. I love it. It's all for the good, but I would just say it's different. It's tough.
You know what? When we answered this the other day, mine was, what did I say? Transitional. Like it was like, I'm in that in between, that liminal space of like, I was here, I'm getting here, but I'm kind of in that middle space where it's like, the growth is so good, but it's so hard.
It is.
And the changes are so good. And you know,
it's just hard though.
That this light
time
down here. And it's just being patient and like waiting and kind of like letting things fall where they fall.
Just happen.
So yeah. We loved having you guys.
I told my 5-year-old, I can do hard things.
You can do hard things.
We
can,
girls. That's what makes us better.
Yes.
Yes. I will let you.
Well, we could talk for hours. And we'll have them back.
Done?
No, we're just going to turn off the microphones, but we're not done. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please like, follow, subscribe, whatever the words are you're supposed to do with the podcast. Share with your girlfriends. Lib and Lee, we're going to share their social information, their business information, their website. We'll have that all listed. We had the best time with you girls. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.